Hello and welcome to our course on Code of Safe Practices. Now, this is an extremely short course because it's one little topic and it's part of a broader policy or program that you may have seen. The Code of Safe Practices really applies to our construction standards inside of our OSHA regulations. Now in Cal OSHA that's 1509, and that is the Injury Illness Prevention Program. The thing is, that is actually referred to in Cal OSHA's Title 8, Section 3203 as the Injury Illness Prevention Program. But what this Code of Safe Practices or the construction standard does is it says that we have to have a code of safe practices. Now, what is this Code of Safe Practices? Well, it's simply a restatement of all of our short, sweet summaries of our policies and procedures. So if you have all your safety policies, which your organization should have, you will also have the little statements from each of those. So wear your hearing protection, wear your personal protective equipment such as gloves, don't climb things unless you have a fall protection harness on, never stack material on top of lockers, filing cabinets. If you hear the alarm, exit the building. So why is this important? Well, a lot of times, and we talk about fault versus responsibility here, we don't take the time to read all of our policies and procedures. And communication is the name of the game when it comes to OSHA. So all they want you to do, all OSHA wants your organization to do, is communicate to you the hazards. And again, it's your responsibility to understand what these are, to know how to keep yourself safe, and to do that. So let's take a peek here at some of our Code of Safe Practices, but also this issue of fault versus responsibility. I talk about it in almost every single course that I do, and it is one of the aspects that's going to keep you safe no matter what the program is. Fault is a negative thing. It's a pointing of the finger. It's blame. It is negative. Responsibility, on the other hand, is a positive thing. It's something that you have duty and ownership over. And if you really look at the word, it is the ability to respond to any situation because you have all the tools, skills, and knowledge set that you need to do so. So that course goes into a whole lot more if you want to take that course, Fault versus Responsibility and Safety. That's available as well. But the bottom line is you're responsible. You're the one that has to live with the consequences. And the Code of Safe Practices, we really shouldn't have to write it out like this, but we do because it is a compliance issue. And it's really a good spot for you to go and get a quick update, a quick reminder, a refresher. And I'm going to put in the next lesson there a sample of Code of Safe Practices. If you don't have one at your organization and you need one, you can copy and paste this in there. But basically, report your unsafe acts. Report accidents and injuries. Make sure that you're not using drugs or alcohol. Make sure that you're not impaired from prescription medications. Don't block exits, right? Don't try to use something that you haven't been trained on. Always use the proper lifting techniques. These sound very simple, very easy, and they are, right? Don't use frayed electric cords. Never use a ladder, metal ladder, when working around electric. Don't use ladders when you're overweight of the max capacity of that ladder. So those are basic things, and that's all the Code of Safe Practices is. It's this little laundry list of don'ts or do's if it's positive, but don'ts. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. That's our Code of Safe Practices. And usually we're going to post this at our job site as well, so if there's job site posters, we can take a look at those. But Code of Safe Practices is nothing more than a restatement of all of our little one-liners, two-liners about staying safe. It's like that list, the things that you should know. It's the, for lack of a better term, the idiot-proof list, right? Like if this is the bottom line statement of the policy. So use your hearing protection, use your eyeglasses, your safety glasses. If you get something in your eye, use the eye wash station, right? Those are it. And again, give it a read. Of course, all of this is designed to keep you safe. But really, if we're taking responsibility, these are things we know. These are things that we already should know. And if you don't know them, well, then it's time to get serious. It's time to really knuckle down and be a serious person when it comes to your health and safety. Because again, you're the one that's got to live with it. You're the one that's going to end up with the injury. You're the one that's going to have to, live without the finger or two fingers or the arm or whatever you lose, hearing, eyesight. And that makes for a very long and unpleasant life. So try to stay safe. Read your Code of Safe Practices. Make sure you give a read through the sample Code of Safe Practices. And that's it. That's all there is to it. It's a section under your Injury Illness Prevention Plan. Some states have state injury illness prevention plans. Most will follow the federal level OSHA, a lot of state level OSHAs as well. And the Code of Safe Practices is built in there. You can get samples all over the internet at no cost, but generally you need to write your own for your agency if you're in charge of it, and it needs to be tailored to your agency. So you don't want to have something in there about forklifts if you guys don't even use forklifts, right? So that is the code, and with that, have a great and safe day, and thanks for joining us. I appreciate your time and effort, and make sure you take a read through it.